Hello everybody and welcome to Game 3 between UD and Marco for CALLOUS Invitational 5 round 1. The score going into this game is 1-1. Marco took the first game fairly handily. UD took the second game fairly handily. So, you know, game 3 is all up for grabs. I'd love to see another cracker in this game just like we have in the first two. First two games were just wild. It was like two ladder games. Really enjoyable to watch. So I'm going to press play here on slow mode and get right into it. Marco again with the standard leads, not messing around as much as I thought he would. I thought he'd have some sort of weird techs, but he's just brought his Zapdos out. And Tar is UD's choice of lead here. Goes for a rock slide early, not messing around with focus bunches, not over predicting, no need to. That's not a bad play. There's a lot of turn 1 T-bolters out there these days, so it's not overly apprehensive to just rock slide turn 1 here. Unfortunately that is just the lie of the land at the moment. So we are going to see a Breloom come out here for Marco. So UD just basically allows his Vaporeon to get slapped here. Now this Vaporeon is not 251 speed, or whatever it hits, max speed, I can't remember, yeah, 251. It's not max speed, it's not the timid nature, it's probably modest or a defensive set, or just somewhere in between, maybe a bulky modest set. So this Breloom is going to outspeed, or maybe Breloom's 262. Hard to know just yet. But either way, UD almost definitely going to be forced to switch out here on what he should expect to be a Focus Punch. So UD goes to Zapdos and Marco goes for a HB Rock. Yeah, that's weird, but that's Marco P in a nutshell. HB Rock there, predicting maybe a Mens, maybe a Gar, or of course maybe a Zapdos, as you can see. And then he's following it up with the Suit Tar here. So the idea, I presume, is, you know, it hits Gengar into range to the point where Pursuit will always kill it if it chooses to leave, or Crunch will always kill it if it chooses to stay in. So a nice little tech there from Marco. Not sure why he's bringing in the Suit Tar. Does go for the Pursuit here, but I'm not sure I agree with that play. Baton Pass is just so common these days that I would not recommend pursuing a Zapdos unless you really know. I mean you can pursue it, but I mean, UD looks to be running an offense team. He's got a baton passing Vaporeon probably, so he could easily be running a baton passing Zapdos as well to try and kind of keep these stats, keep these substitutes and these stats being passed around the team. So don't know if I agree with that pursuit from Marco, but either way, we see a huge turn here. We see Vaporeon Hydro crit the Zapdos, and that is a massive turn. It wakes up and it lands the Hydro and it gets a crit. Big turn for UD. Certainly luck shifting in his favor. Now UD very intelligently gets his Zapdos in on the Spore. So the plan there was, well, Zapdos has 50% left. It's not as useful to me as it was earlier, and my Vaporeon has huge utility here against Marco's team. Does well versus Pert, does well versus Tar, does well versus Breloom, does well versus everything that's revealed so far. So not a bad move at all for UD to choose not to let that Vaporeon get slapped. But he does go out to Gengar here on the Focus Punch. So this is how he is dealing with fighters here. Dealing with Loom at least. Now here is a big turn, because one of the two guys could be switching out here. If you're UD, you could even stay in an Ice Punch. But the problem is, of course, whatever attack is super effective. The problem here is that the Suit Tar is full and it could easily just come in here. So UD is going to be very apprehensive about that. I'm interested to see how he decides to play around the Suit Tar. He wants to avoid taking focus punches, but he also wants to avoid getting caught by that T-Tar. So let's see how he manages to do that. So Marco's actually going to make the big balls play and stay in and Focus Punch, and it works out really well for him. He lands a Focus Punch on the Mon that UD just tried to save, and now it's down to 15, and we know it's not max speed, because that Focus Punch was definitely adamant, I think. Actually, I don't know why I'm saying that. I don't know if it was adamant. I need to do my my head calcs a bit better. we're going to see a Sky Uppercut come out here. 63%. That means half is what? 30, 31 and a half. Yeah, probably Adamant Braylum then, I assume. Yeah, I think it's Adamant Braylum. So UD gets a spike off here, does get crit in the process here with Fortress. Now UD's team starting to come together. We're seeing a Fortress spikes offense, and he reveals the Zap Cannon tech. That's really nice. So that punishes both Focus Punch, and it also punishes any kind of switch in here, and he hits the Skarm here with the Zap Cannon, and now it's paralyzed. Now UD gets in the Vaporeon, and he understands that he needs to get it in now, because if a spike goes up, he won't have a chance to get it in later. So Hydro Pump comes out, does 50. That, I think, is modest damage. So it was actually a bulky, modest Vaporeon, which means that Breloom is adamant, based on the damage it did with Focus Punch. So we're gonna see Fortress coming in here. This is kind of looking pretty grave for UD. He really has nothing better to chip down the Skarm than a Zap Cannon Fortress. I don't know how that one's working out, but it doesn't make much sense to me. I mean, the Zap Cannons aren't doing that much. Obviously, he can't go to Zapdos, it's asleep. Gengar gets trapped. But, I mean, Tar is almost better, isn't it? I suppose. It's wall by parts, so it's just a rock and a hard place here for UD. This Skarm is not something he can pressure and wear down very well here. He is just going to choose now to spike. Last turn he chose the Zap Cannon, now he's choosing to spike. So maybe UD under the impression that it doesn't matter too much what move he goes for. Just going to Rapid Spin here. Get rid of those spikes, and he does now get Drill Peck down. So no spikes on UD side. He has won the spikes war so far, but he is certainly behind as far as momentum is concerned, I would say, because he's lost 2, 1 slept, and Marco certainly has 5 here that are all fighting fit. Fire Punch comes out. Marco can probably calc that damage. UD goes for HP Grass here. That's an offensive Gengar. Marco's not gaining leftovers, I don't think so. This is like what, Black Glass's T-Tar? So now we have the classic will he crunch, will he pursuit game. UD hidden powered on the off chance that Marco over predicts with the pursuit. We'll see, does he do that? He goes for a crunch. Wow. And UD gonna lose the Gengar here. That may be the end of this game for UD. He's already behind, and we know he can't pressure this Skarmory. So Tar gonna stay in here and crunch the Zap. Zap does not wake up. Spikes drop as well. Now it's probably in range of Mach Punch. Zap not gonna wake up, and now I was gonna say now UD gets Marco gets another chance to sleep, but it has a chance to wake up here. It does wake up, and it does fire off a T-Bolt here. So we're gonna see how Marco deals with this. I don't know if he has. No, he probably doesn't have Mach Punch actually on the Breloom because he has HB Rock. But Marco does reveal the Arrow. Yeah, he doesn't have Mach Punch. And UD reveals the Steelix. This is interesting. Wow. So really janky team from UD. Yeah, I mean Steelix on a Spikes team. I don't know. It always. I need to go back. I was not catching up to that turn. So what happened here? So Steelix comes out, and this is a huge turn. So Marco realizes that UD has to go Zap here because Skarm is so free, and it's the only thing he can go to pressure it. So he decides to go for another Rock Slide. Figures if UD stays in, he goes for HP Rock or Toxic. It's not the end of the world. Arrow lives 1. If it's Toxic, he still stays around, but it hurts a lot, obviously. It's a big turn, probably unnecessary for Marco, but fantastic prediction from him. He knows UD here is desperate. 3 to 4 has to go to Zap, and this Rock Slide will surely seal the deal. I don't see how UD can beat a Swampert and a Breloom from here. Rock Slide comes out, does 48, so that Tar is not very bulky. He's going to retaliate with a slide of his own, so Arrow does go down here. Arrow probably not hugely useful in this game anymore. So Breloom comes out here. If he misses sky uppercut. This could be serious. This could be game deciding. He goes for the sky uppercut, hits it. If he missed that, I feel like the Swampert is still a lot to deal with. This game, it was looking very, very dark for UD once that Gar went down. And Marco can just keep focus punching here. This game's over because there's nothing Steelix can really do to pressure it. So Marco doesn't even have to sky uppercut here. He can just focus punch down the Steelix, and that should decide how this series goes. It was a very close series up until that little moment there, that decider moment. Very, very close game, rather, up until that deciding moment where there was a crunch pursuit scenario and UD decided to stay in. I wonder if he switched out, what were his chances of winning this game? Were they much better? It's tough to say now, but either way, Marco is going to take game 3 here and thus the series. So Braylem here just going to whittle the Steelix down again. Misses a sky uppercut again. He can just focus punch. He doesn't have to sky uppercut because Steelix can't really do damage to it. Earthquake is just not going to do that much. Wow, so Marco's going to... Yeah, he's going to miss sky uppercut again. This one is it's drawing out a little bit. I don't think Steelix can bring this one back though. Pretty sure the Swampert plus Braylem combo has this one in stalemate, or in checkmate, and it does. Marco sky uppercuts and then drops a YouTube video. Either way, Marco takes this series and will be going into the winners bracket for round 2. UD will be going down to the losers bracket, but hopefully both of these guys make a deep push regardless. Really enjoyed watching the series, enjoyed watching both of these guys bring their own teams, bring original teams. Great fun watching them. I think Marco brought a lot of sleep this series. Perhaps he's trying to exemplify just how broken it is. Either way, enjoyed the series a lot, and I'm looking forward to the next one. See you all then.